Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Spider-Man Miles Morales on Kwings Let's Plays. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when more Spider-Man arrives. And special shout-outs to all our members, including our ultimates. If you guys want to hop aboard the membership train, all you got to do is click right here. Select the tier that works best for you. All right, it's time to swing back into action with more Spider-Man in New York City as Miles Morales.
Oh, yeah.
What is happening, Spider Friends? Welcome back to Spider-Man Miles Morales, and today we're doing a little bit of spider lore on the Disney XD spider suit for Miles Morales, based on the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon show from 2002, or 2012, darn it, 2012 on Disney XD. And Miles Morales is actually part of the, I believe, 2014 season called The Web Warriors. And he doesn't appear until Spider-Verse Episode 4 in spring of 2015. And more or less, Miles Morales comes from the Ultimate Spider-Man world, where, of course, the Ultimate Spider-Man comics are where Peter Parker dies, facing the Green Goblin after saving Aunt May, Gwen Stacy, and his girlfriend, Mary Jane Watson. And Peter was, of course, I believe, a junior or senior in high school. And Miles Morales has been bitten by the spider, but Peter has not met him yet. So fate had changed the life of Peter Parker, of course, to die. And then later on, it's proven that Peter never really died. He went into kind of a coma because, thanks to Jason Todd's revival in comic books, Nobody dies anymore. They died for a while. It's like they go on a little vacation.
They're just mostly dead.
They're mostly dead. And then when the writer's kind of like, you know what? Our sales are hurting. This character isn't really pulling their own weight anymore. Let's add a little bit of razzle-dazzle by bringing back Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And we're gonna, even though Miles has been around for years solo now, we're just gonna bring back Peter and throw Miles' world upside down, because is he still going to be Spider-Man? Nope, no worries, you're still Spidey. Peter is going to run off with Mary Jane, get married, and may or may not tell his aunt that he's alive, because he's embarrassed because he's been gone so long. Apparently his spider powers made it so that he could go in a coma and be mostly dead. Kind of like the cop-out they did with Superman in the 90s, where Superman did die fighting Doomsday, but they were like, nah, he's going to be inside like this solar regeneration thing for several years, and then he's going to get all betters. But then he's going to have long hair and maybe amnesia, and he's going to come back at the last possible moment to save the day. But it's going to take him years to get his powers back. There you go. He didn't die. He mostly died, sort of. And that kind of set a precedent. So anyway, in the Disney XD cartoon, because they can't get super dark, Miles does come from a world where Peter Parker is dead. He died fighting the Green Goblin, which is very reminiscent to the Green Goblin of the Ultimate Comics, which is this nasty monster guy. Like, think Hulk meets The Thing meets, like, maybe the... I'm trying to remember his name. Abomination. Like, this big, burly thing, but with the intelligence of Bruce Banner and Norman Osborn, and you have the Green Goblin of the Ultimate Universe. So scary dude, and he's responsible for killing Peter in Miles' world. And they don't go into detail, they just say that Spider-Man died, and Miles happened to have these powers, and boom, that's kind of what happened with that. In terms of, how he became Spider-Man or whatever. In that universe, Miles' mother actually knows that Miles is Spider-Man. And the reason that Peter Parker from the Ultimate Universe, which is the Disney XD show, is able to run across Miles Morales is he is jumping dimensions hunting the Green Goblin, and happens to run into Miles' Green Goblin and all this other stuff. So Miles is kind of freaked out to see Peter alive, because he's like, wait a second, what's going on with that? And there's some time travel or interdimensional shenanigans that ensue with the Web Warriors. And eventually Miles ends up in Peter Parker's universe, which is...
Whoa!
Yeah, do you remember that really weird Spider-Man show where the Drake and Josh guy was breaking the fourth wall all the time, and it was kind of dumb? So that's the third season and fourth and fifth season or whatever is known as the Web Warriors. and slash Spider-Verse.
It was interesting show, but I guess he broke the fourth wall so much that it got really weird.
I thought the animation was good. It was a step above Spectacular Spider-Man, which had kind of like a Timverse feel to it.
Yeah.
But the show was just too gimmicky. It was kind of like if Adam West was somehow able to revive his show and make it a cartoon in the year 2012. That's what Ultimate Spider-Man was, and it just came off the heels of the Spectacular Spider-Man show a few years ago. I think the Spectacular Spider-Man ended in 2009, 2010, something like that, and people were still kind of like, whoa, you know, this was amazing, we're waiting for the next season of Spider-Man, and it's like, nope, it got yeeted, it's gone. Now you have Drake and Josh, who did a great job as Spidey, but at the same time, they literally made a Spider-Man show for KIDSs. And it kind of alienated superhero fans. They were just kind of like, what is this garbage? You know, it had like 1 or 2 good episodes, and that wasn't until much later in the show's life cycle, like the Web Warriors, when they brought in Noir Spidey and Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. Who else? Oh, Miguel O'Hara was in it. Although he was kind of crazy in it. Think kind of like a Wolverine character.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this gruff soldier that really doesn't want to deal with Peter's shenanigans. Which, I mean, I can understand that. Peter Ultimate is really annoying. But he gets a lot of maturity during the whole Spider-Verse thing. Which, you know what the Spider-Verse is. In the comics, they were being hunted by these energy vampires that would eat spider people.
Wow.
Yeah, suck up their powers and stuff like that. So they had to do a kid-friendly version of it, but there weren't.
It's kind of hard to think of a way to do a kid version.
There was no energy-sucking vampires.
Okay. They just eliminated that whole thing.
Yeah, the Green Goblin was just going around bumping off Spider-Man, but they didn't show them, you know, bite the dust. They just kind of disappeared or something like that. They had to basically do like a G-rated version of that storyline, which actually that storyline is pretty intense. Amber and I talked about it in a lot of extent when the old Spider-Man mobile game, I believe from 2007 is when we 2013 is when we did that mobile game through 2016. So we did it for 3 years. And during that time period is when the Spider-Verse came out, and it had all these different skins. So we talked in detail about all the different stuff. So yeah, Disney did like this little small person version of that, involving the Green Goblin and basically the Sinister Six. So eventually Miles and Spidey work together. Miles ends up going back to jokey Peter's world, who's becoming somewhat serious now. And Miles can't use the name Spider-Man because that would create confusion, which it would. Having multiple Spider-Men with the same name, you know, is kind of weird. So Miles comes up with the name Arachnakid, which actually, if you look at his suit, that's a very fitting name. That's a cool name. And he hangs out with Peter for a long, long time. They go through a lot of different storylines together. Miles is like one of the most popular characters on the show. He has a little bit more maturity than Peter does because he had a lot of responsibility thrust on his shoulders.
Oh, right.
So there was really no breaking the third wall or fourth wall until Miles was in Peter's universe, and then more characters would end up doing it, which is just super annoying.
Wow.
Although it was kind of funny when every once in a while the Spider Noir guy would do it because he's a super serious bogey.
Oh my god.
Guy, you know, yeah. Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Spider-Man Noir. Yeah.
Spider-Man Noir.
Black and white.
Yep.
Spider-Man.
Yep. So Miles ends up going to Peter's world, becomes Arachnakid, and gets into Peter's Web Warriors team, consisting of Spider Noir, Gwen Stacy, Spider Ham, or Spider Pig. I forget what his name is. I don't remember. I think it's Spider Pig, or maybe that was The Simpsons. Might be Spider Ham. Peter Porker. Do you vaguely remember him?
Yeah, I think it was the pig spider. Yeah, Spider Pig.
Yep.
The controls are stuck.
We're trying to help. Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm so much closer to the mic than you. I feel bad.
Oh, you're fine.
Hopefully your little voice will carry.
My voice carries like thunder. Thunder. Thunder K-Wing, ho!
So, I have a question.
Sure.
Did you see, remember that Spider-Verse movie that we saw? Then that is not this suit, then. This is the Into the Spider-Verse,
Web Warriors.
Web Warriors show. And did you see that show before you saw that Into the Spider-Verse movie, or?
Yeah.
Oh, see,
yeah, it was Into the Spider-Verse movie was 2018, honey.
When I watched that movie, I had never seen, like, all those different spider people, like, together and in the multiverse, so I'd never... Unless I caught it once in a great while when you were watching it.
You watched Ultimate Spider-Man on a very rare occasion because, in your own words, it was stupid.
Oh, that's what I said about it? Oh,
yeah, I was like,
sorry.
Because you had gotten into Spectacular Spider-Man with me after, although the first time you saw Spectacular Spider-Man, you did not like the animation. You were like, they're trying too hard to be Batman the Animated Series. Your own words.
Yeah, in general, most things, in general, I feel like when you first met me, I was pretty stuck up about most things, honestly, so I feel sorry.
I wouldn't say stuck up, I'd say
like nothing could have pleased me, like everything was dumb, like...
No, you had...
The only things I liked were Batman Animated Series.
And Justice League.
Yeah, and everything else was garbage to me.
Although you did like Earth's Mightiest Heroes. You thought that Avengers show was really cool because it wasn't like the MCU.
Yeah, I liked the
And you liked the X-Men.
And I liked The Last Airbender.
Yep.
And I liked Ben 10 Alien Force.
Yes, you did, but you didn't like the other Ben 10 shows.
No, I did not like the other Ben 10 shows at all.
Alien Force was my favorite too, and Ben 10 Ultimate Alien was in that same style.
So the one with the breaking the fourth wall, I did not like as much as the other one.
No. Especially you thought the Captain America team-up episode you saw was kind of stupid. Like, Captain America was hanging out with crazy Spider-Man.
I can't believe that you remember things better than me about stuff I watched.
Some things. I mean, you've only seen of Ultimate Spider-Man probably 4 episodes in its entire run, and various seasons. You've seen 1 or 2 episodes from the Web Warriors because it was Spider-Verse related, and we were getting information for the Spider-Man mobile game we were working with.
Okay.
With Gameloft, that was a Gameloft property. And you saw 1 episode where Peter Parker was trying out for the role of Spider-Man in a school musical, and they decided on going with Flash Thompson, and Peter Parker was at the very bottom of the list.
Oh, wow.
And Flash Thompson was this super Spider-Man fan, but he wasn't Spider-Man, but a bad guy thought he was Spider-Man, so the real Spidey had to intervene.
Yeah.
And
They made Flash like a lot nicer than he was supposed to be.
he was still a bully, but I mean, he wasn't really what I would count as a bully.
It all depends, like, I think there are different levels of bullies, like, if you're just kind of angsty and mean, like once in a while you say something kind of rude, I guess it can be a bully, but when you start to being like super verbally abusive or just start punching people, then you're really a bully. And I just feel like if you're just kind of like, oh, great outfit today, Peter, oh, thanks, Flash, and then that's the only mean thing you do the whole day, it's like, well, that's not really a bully, they're just kind of mean.
Yep.
They're not like berating you, they're not like making your life a living nightmare. Anyway.
Yep. That is very true. Yeah, no problem, Roxanne.
I like recording this with you.
Oh, I enjoy it. So let's since Amber's little questions are out of the way, let's finish Ultimate.
Yeah,
and
I'm sorry.
Just so you guys know, I'm doing my best to fill in the gaps. It was a very long show. Like, Miles was on the show from 2015 until the series was, I wouldn't say canceled, but it was, it went off the air in 2017, the end of 2017, and Miles was a huge part of the show. So one of the key differences between the comics and the show is, of course, Miles' mom, if you didn't know this, she actually died in the comics. The father didn't usually die. Jefferson Davis was around quite a bit, and he kind of became like, not an antagonist to Miles, but he kind of blamed Miles for his wife's death and some other stuff. Because, you know, Miles' mother died because somebody found out he was Spider-Man, and he was living with his mom, and things like that. So, Sometimes Miles' family, depending on whoever's writing the comic, from my understanding, is it's not a happy, as happy as it was in the Spider-Verse and some other versions. My favorite versions of Spider-Man is where his mom and dad both live, and they're still married and living together and supporting one another, and they add that familia aspect that Peter doesn't really have as Spider-Man. Like, his family actually knows he's Spider-Man, and it adds some fun stuff to it. Kind of like, it would be a weird book if Alfred didn't know Batman was Bruce Wayne. That type of thing. So,
yeah.
It adds, like, so much dimensions to it when the family actually knows about Miles. But anyway, in the comics, the mom was killed.
Right.
In the show, Miles' dad is killed in action, which is how they kind of got that idea for the Spider-Man 2018 game.
Oh, okay.
Is Miles' dad was a police officer who died in line of duty, and it was his mother who was taking care of Miles, like as a single mom. And they had a very, very close relationship. So in the show, she knew who he was, very supportive of him being Spider-Man, but also worried a lot about him.
Yeah.
You know, so she kind of found out the same way he was Spider-Man, just like in the, the 2020 game, Miles Morales. Miles got hurt, I guess, and she figured it out or helped him out.
That's so weird, though, because it's like Peter doesn't want to tell Aunt May that he's alive because then she'll know he's Spider-Man. It's like, but...
Oh, getting back to the Ultimate Comics? He eventually...
Oh.
Somebody does. Either Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane told...
Oh, yeah. Sorry to get off...
No, that's fine. You can't really not talk about the Ultimate Spider-Man comics when you're talking about the Ultimate Spider-Man Web Warrior show, because it's the same... Well, no, it's not the same version because Peter Parker doesn't die. Miles Morales' version of Peter dies. So anyway,
okay.
The Disney XD show, jumping around a little bit more, Miles ends up becoming part of the Web Warriors, which consists of Agent Venom, so Eddie Brock, wait, is it Eddie Brock or is it Flash Thompson? I can't remember. Agent Venom is usually Flash Thompson, who went overseas to become a soldier, got hurt, and then ended up going through an experimental government program using the symbiote, and he came back as Agent Venom, so a soldier with Spider-Man powers, but he doesn't look like Venom. He looks like... Basically, you remember those Power Ranger sentries in Battle for the Grid and Legacy Wars? A little bit. That's kind of what Agent Venom looks like. He looks like a Mastodon sentry, but as Venom. He's got a belt with ammunition, he uses firearms and weapons, but he does have somewhat spider powers thanks to the alien symbiote. But he doesn't look like your traditional Venom. So anyway, Miles Morales works with Agent Venom, Spider-Noir, Spider-Ham, Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, Miguel O'Hara, and one other spider person that I don't remember. A lot of crazy, interdimensional shenanigans between Miles and company. The very end of the show, I did see this. Miles and his mom go back to their universe where Peter Parker is dead, and apparently his Spider-Man duties are being taken over by Gwen Stacy, who I believe her world gets erased or merged with Miles' world. So then, things have to change, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So she gets erased in her world?
Well, something... I don't really understand it. Something happens where Gwen ends up in Miles' world and she becomes a spider person. So then Miles and his mom leave their universe and they end up living in Peter's universe as the Arachne Kid. So he kind of becomes like... I guess he and Peter bonded like over the course of the show. And Miles just needs that friendship and all that other stuff. And he ends up going to Peter's universe, the Ultimate Spider-Man, and stays with like Agent Venom and some other people.
I think that's very sweet that like Miles and like Peter get along so well. Yeah. If they were common writers, they might not always get along.
No, if they were common writers, I don't see them getting.
One of them might actually end up turning evil at one point if they were common writers.
Yep, it could be. But yeah, I mean, I give a lot of heat towards the show, but I would have to say, if you're going to watch the Ultimate Spider-Man show, the Web Warriors and the Spider-Verse arc is actually really good.
Okay.
And the remainder of the show, it gets a little less jokey, somewhat serious, but the Drake and Josh Spider-Man still breaks the fourth wall quite a bit. He acts more like Deadpool than Spider-Man, and that always bothered me.
Yeah.
And I can understand that the show, quote, wasn't made for fans of Spectacular Spider-Man or 90s or whatever.
Yeah, the ones that we liked was the Spectacular Spider-Man show.
It was made for a demographic of people that are much, much younger. And that's fine, but I still think that they went a little bit too far with some of the stuff.
Yeah, it's always difficult when it's like you are a comic book fan and you find a show that perfectly, you know, like tells what the character is like, and then they'll change the show and they'll make it for people that aren't familiar with the character, and it's like, oh wow, this just isn't for me. But I guess they're just trying to reach out to another, or not reach out to another audience, or
something like that.
It's just.
But you know what the people who went and made Spectacular Spider-Man, what they ended up doing as their next project, right?
Got another crime report.
Young Justice.
Oh, okay.
So they still brought that mature story telling and other things. The team went on to do the Young Justice show.
I'm just so impressed with all your knowledge about this, because
I don't think that I'm 100% on this. I'm really trying. I haven't done Spider-Lore since 2018.
You're trying to explain it to me.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Lore is kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a very condensed thing describing something that is not in my wheelhouse, but trying to explain it so Amber can understand it too, and so that she can learn this stuff as well.
Oh, I have a question though. If you want to watch the Spider-Man Ultimate, can you watch it on Netflix or something?
No.
Or it's not around really? You'd have to pay for it.
Disney Plus.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
If I hear that name one more time, oh my gosh. Why did Disney put all their stuff onto one app? It's so messed up.
Warner Brothers did it too, though.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather support Warner Brothers, though.
I know. Oh, we will, because, you know, Snyder Cut.
They should have Sony Plus.
we might get a month of it, like, starting in December, so we can see the new Wonder Woman movie. Because the new Wonder Woman movie on Christmas Day is going to be on...
oh wow, it's gonna be on Christmas Day.
Yep, Christmas Day releases on HBO Max. Yep. That's a thing now. And a little Warner Brothers contact told me that they might actually start... You know how they released, like, these movies, animated DC movies, direct to, like, Blu-ray first, or digital, then Blu-ray, like, a few weeks later or whatever? It's possible that they're gonna start releasing the movies on HBO Max like around the same time of a release as well, so people that have the HBO Max service, they get access to some of these like really cool animated movies that they're working on, like the upcoming 70s kung fu Bruce Lee inspired Batman animated movie that comes out on your birthday, actually.
Oh wow. I'm excited about that.
Well, it's Batman in the 70s, and it has kung fu music, like the Bruce Lee, you know, kung fu style music that you like. Yeah, it's a kung fu epic / detective thing, but it's a the movie is R-rated. So
just FYI, I am really excited. Holidays sometimes are difficult for me, so you're making me feel a lot better recording with me again.
No problem. I like recording with you.
I also I think I had too much turkey, so I just feel really weird.
I can
hardly even
calm.
like really calm. I'm just like, whoa, oh that's cool. Thanks for letting me know all the spider facts.
Spider facts. Does whatever a spider fax does.
I just am curious what the difference is between this suit and then the one from the movie.
The one from the movie, he spray paints it, and you know, because that Miles Morales is a graffiti artist, like I don't know what the street artist. That's the term, street artist, not graffiti. Breaking the law, breaking the law. He's a street artist. That I believe that's the hip term to describe like graffiti.
I'm a CD pirate artist.
Whereas Miles Morales in this game he's a rapper, or no, he's not a rapper. He's a I don't know the term. I don't know the term. He mixes beats. I would say
music producer.
Yeah, I mean, I would call him a composer, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if Hans Zimmer can be a composer, then certainly Miles.
Oh, there goes the burn. Well, get used to it because those guys are back in business again.
No.
Yeah, because Justice League bombed.
He even said, he was in an interview and they said, how do you compose music? He's like, I generally just mix sounds together on my computer.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you admitted it. You don't actually compose music.
You admitted it.
Oops. I just broke my glasses. I was so upset.
Oh my gosh, can you fix them? Okay. You just fixed it. All right, that's good to know. The suit actually looks pretty good in this. But we're playing on the PS4 Pro again because
yes, I'm aware that Hans Zimmer composed The Lion King and some other things, but he did a terrible job on whatever it is that he recently.
I just wanted to tell you that the atmospheric music that you hate or loathe so much is back in Snyder Cut. So Snyder couldn't wait to get rid of Danny Elfman, so Junkie XL is back doing all his themes and stuff like that. But I mean, from what I've heard of the soundtrack, it actually sounds pretty good. But at the same time, it's if you didn't like the Man of Steel or the BVS music.
No, I did not.
Yep, that's back.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any music in those movies.
I heard a lot of noise. Oh my gosh. Yep. So the reign of Zimmer style music is back and alive and well.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys call it in the comments? What do you guys call it when you mix beats? What beat mixer? I don't know. Composer, music producer.
Beat mixer. That sounds cool. Yeah, so Miles is a musician in this.
Musician.
And he's a street artist in the other one. So to answer your question, Aunt May in the movie gave Spider-Verse Miles one of Peter's old costumes from when he was a teenager, essentially the same age as Miles. And Miles has got to be him, so he basically takes black spray paint and he just spray paints the suit all black and then adds a little bit of something to the style of the suit, and that's how you got the Spider-Verse suit. So the Spider-Verse suit is a variation of the ultimate suit that he gets from Nick Fury and Peter Parker's clone in the Ultimate Universe, who's a female.
Oh.
The cloning process worked for, Peter, and she's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., but she has all Peter's memories, but at the same time she is a biological woman that was created in a cloning lab or something like that. And she's kind of like Miles' mentor, sort of.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
all right,
she's known as Spider-Woman in that universe. So
Spider-Woman.
It's not essentially that Miles is Ultimate Spider-Man on his own. He has a lot of help, like in the series. He works with Nick Fury.
Works with a team.
Yeah, I think that's also where the whole Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon got the idea of, Spider-Man working with a group of people that are around his age. Because if you think about it, Miles works with, I don't even remember her name, but the clone of Peter Parker, I think Jessica something, I don't know. And, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all these different characters.
Some people work really well alone, and some people are really good at working in teams.
Yeah, but that's definitely where that idea came from, so that's why Peter Parker Ultimate Show works with like White Tiger, Luke Cage, who's like a young Power Man, Iron Fist, and Nova. That's right, Buckethead. I forgot about Nova.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
So weird.
I like the original Nova. I don't like the Ultimate Spider-Man. Buckethead's annoying. But yeah, there you guys have it. That is Spider Lore on Miles Morales Disney XD stuff.
Ultimate Spider-Man suit.
Hopefully, I explained it pretty easily. Like, made it bite-sized so you guys could understand a little bit. Don't go anywhere because there's more Spider Lore coming this week on the Crimson Spider Cowl. And, of course, the End suit for Miles Morales. And I don't know if our Spider-Man walkthrough is over or not, but we have a new series we're working on called Rice and Ruin. Hope you guys will check that out. And we have some other cool surprises happening in December as well. Also, we'll be announcing the winner of our Spider-Man contest on a live stream, just free roaming and hang out with Spider-Man on November 30th. So be on the lookout for that.
Awesome.
But have a great one, guys. Stay tuned for an awesome Let's Play on something else, and we'll see you with more Spider lore tomorrow. God bless and happy gaming.
See ya.